All right, should have taken Italian at prep. All right, baby.
I don't even know if they offered it.
Let's jump into this.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of CCG Live. I got an old-time friend of mine here with me today, and he's been present in my life for a while. Family had storefronts right across from each other.
Still do.
Yep, we still do. A little competition. We went to high school together, and then we even spent some time in college together. So, you know, we've been around each other for 25, 26 years already. And we're here again, sat down at the table, and we're gonna chop it up from a true entrepreneur's mindset. So I wanna welcome Don Battimelli, and give yourself a little introduction, my friend.
Thank you. Don Battimelli. We own A&S on Black Rock Turnpike in Fairfield, and my brother and I started Salumificio GB in 2021. That's when the concept came about. And we've developed a high-end salumi line, Gemma Salumi, and we got some high quality meats here.
Very high quality.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Let's do it. I'm gonna be snacking throughout this because this stuff is amazing.
I'm gonna join you.
Yeah, why not, man? Long days of work, you gotta do it. We've known each other for a while. Mm-hmm. My family has Layla's right on Black Rock. Literally right across the window is A&S. Yep. Everyone knows it, everyone loves it. And we went to high school together, we went to college together, so you know we were very close to each other, we were friendly. You were a hockey kid, I was soccer, but you know, being established in the community, we knew of each other, of course.
Yep.
You know, different types of concepts of food, of course, but you know, it was definitely that entrepreneurship family we came from. Definitely. And fast forward, whatever, 10 plus years later, we're both in that game again.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's the town we grew up in, maybe it's the community.
Something in the water.
Some in the water, the foreign families. You know, you're first generation Italian?
Technically second.
Second, yeah. Okay. Still, man, you know, you came from the motherland and your family established something here and kept on growing it. Mm-hmm. I really just want to jump straight into this because I have not had the pleasure of meeting someone that has built I can't even pronounce it, but a product facility, which you call it
It's a Salumificio.
I didn't take Italian, so I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that, but you gave me a tour earlier in the production. You guys built this from ground up, correct?
Yeah, so we bought the building in 2022. December 1st is when we closed. And we gutted everything. We took the roof off, we took the slab out, we just left 4 cinder block walls and just completely demolished and rebuilt.
This was your canvas, whatever you wanted.
Exactly. The reason being is the hygienics of the facility.
Yes.
Yeah, we wanted it incredibly hygienic. We wanted perfect pitch in the floors to get 100% drainage when we wash down. And then also for when we are fermenting the salami, there is a lot of moisture coming off the product and sweating in essence. Yeah. So we want the water to be able to pitch forward and drain out instead of sit in the rooms.
So that's probably the first step in, you know, making this happen. Was started literally at the foundation. Yeah. From, you know, engineering and making, like, not to sound cliche, but you literally had to think of how sloped your floor was going to be before even putting a logo up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really want to dive straight into it because I haven't had, you know, the ability to talk to someone that's created such a distribution facility in the food business. You know, I come from it after working for my family. I also jumped into a hospitality group out in Greenwich, and to scale a production like that, let alone something like this, takes a lot of work, and you managed to do it within 4 years.
Yeah. So
where do you get started with this? Give me like day one.
We were making this at the store. So since 1948, our family has been producing this product here in the United States. And the state of Connecticut in 2021 changed the laws around cured to fermented meat products. So when they put the kibosh on locally inspected cured and fermented meats. Giovanni, my brother, called me because at the time I was not working in the family business.
You were a finance guy.
I was working in finance. I was working at Loeb NYC, which is a VC firm.
Yep.
I had 2 portfolio companies. One had nothing to do with the food industry. It was an LMS platform, so learning management systems.
Okay.
And then the second did have to do with the food industry. It was Unbelievable, and it's a for good baked goods company. So
nice.
for every cookie purchased, a meal was donated.
That's very nice.
And when I left, they were doing about $300,000 a month in cookie sales, just cookies.
Wow. Were they good?
Now I can not even imagine what they're doing.
Oh, I bet.
But this was, late 2021. So yeah, they're definitely cooking. It's a Tony Robbins company, actually.
Oh, okay. That's nice. They do crush it over there.
Yeah.
So give me a little bit about how you made that transition from finance, where you were working for you had 2 good portfolios under you, generating, profit. What made you make the switch?
So Giovanni called me when the state of Connecticut wrote a First Fold CT Insider article about us, saying that
I've seen that.
there was illegal meat production in Fairfield, Connecticut. They say all publicity is good publicity, and that holds true. It was a big picture of my father's face, illegal meat production.
Probably 2 thumbs up too.
Yeah. It was not by any means legal. And foot traffic in the store actually increased after that. And it was the birthing moment of Gemma Salumi. At the time, we didn't know it was going to be called Gemma Salumi, but Giovanni calls me and explains the issue and says, we should start a USDA inspected production facility. I was like,
yeah, I'm good.
I was like, why do you think it's so important? He's like, if we're having this issue, there's going to be so many other states that are going to follow suit, especially because regulations in the food industry never become easier. They
Never.
only become harder.
100%. They keep pushing. And honestly, I think the wave is just about to start with all that. It's going to start coming into a lot of different things. We deal with the same thing over at Layla's as well, in terms of being up to code with everything and how to produce everything. But you didn't even hop on the wave. You created the wave then.
Yeah,
because
we pretty much. I actually sat down with my boss at the time, Rich Vogel, who's the Vogel School of Business at UConn's named after, and he, you got to do this.
So you ran it by your mentor almost.
I ran it by him quick. I ran it by more in depth Brian Janesco, who this was by direct report. He's a serial entrepreneur. He actually was the one that started those 2 portfolio companies.
So he knew what was going on and what you were jumping into.
And he told me I was an idiot if I didn't do it. So I put my resignation in and I jumped back into the family business. But it was a very long process because we needed to organize and systematize A&S so that after my brother and I being there, my brother had been there and he was our executive chef actually at the time because our chef for 12 years left when Giovanni graduated Sacred Heart. Giovanni was our executive chef. We needed to put structure in place so that the store can run without my brother and I there and with less and less involvement of my father.
Of course.
As he's getting older.
You wanted to phase your dad out of it because he started off in the Bronx.
Brooklyn.
At Brooklyn, sorry.
A&S started in Brooklyn with my great uncle, Anthony Shigatano.
Yes.
And my father was actually a grocery runner for him when he was about 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so he started running groceries from 12 to 15. 15, he started working on the deli counter. At 18, he was managing one of the stores.
God bless.
And when he was 21, when he was 20, he was managing the distribution facility and the store. And then when he was 21, he opened up his first sole location.
Wow.
Yeah, moved from Brooklyn up here to Connecticut in 1986.
And it's been there ever since?
So Stratford, we were in Stratford for 8 years, and then in 92 moved to Fairfield.
Wow.
And we've been at that same spot. ever since.
For 25 plus years.
Yeah. So he likes to say "fatto là, nato qua," which means "made there, born here."
Beautiful.
So he was born January 7th, 1964. My grandparents came to the United States
From Napoli.
From Naples in August 1963.
Wow. You know, he created something truly, you know, that held, you know, soul and value coming back from, you know, the homeland. And then now to have his two sons kind of modifying it in terms of keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
You know, old school Italian father, now two, you know, great educated sons taking over the business and expanding it to something like this is, you know, amazing.
Definitely. And, you know, pulling someone that's old school out of their ways.
It's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, it's even worse than that.
Trust me, I know.
But once they become comfortable with it, it makes it a lot easier. Like
100%.
all of our ordering for the store is systematized now.
Which I bet you was doing pen and paper back in the day.
Everything is delegated. There's, you know, Mike has his role, Angelo has his role, Jacques, who's our head chef now, has his role.
You've cultivated an ecosystem now.
Exactly.
Really, you know, there's a systematic way of how everything is run, and it makes your job easier and more efficient.
Exactly. There's binders in the butcher block. There's binders in the middle kitchen, chef's table, on the deli that teaches everyone how to do their job. And if they have a question, they can always refer back to that or to, you know, someone else that is experienced. Because, you know, we have 38 employees there.
Wow.
And our average tenure right now, believe it or not, is 11 and a half years.
That's crazy and impressive, especially in this economy too, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But I walk in there, listen, I'm a fan. I'll walk across the street and you know, grab some fresh food from you guys, and you guys are a well-oiled machine over there, man.
Thank you.
You guys are cranking them in and out, people out the door. It created really a community there, and you step in there and you feel like you're taking a little dive into Italy.
And that's what our goal there is, to keep the family alive and keep it within the community. Like keep building the community atmosphere. There's not many stores like ours left, because you have the big box stores that come in.
100%.
Now
they're all
lose
the value.
Exactly. They lose the value and they lose the intimacy with the customer.
100%.
Which is why, you know, our business has grown to what it is today.
That's one thing I commend you guys on too, and I love it, and I can relate to it as well. Is someone comes in, you're asking how the kids, how's, you know, your brother. You still have that interaction where you're not just trying to be like, here's some salami, here's some chicken cutlets, in and out, let's push them. Yes, you're providing them with the product that's quality, but you're giving them a little love as well. You know, people, and that's really the essence of hospitality. You know, is making them feel like you're part of the family, and it's a great place you have, and people are doing what they do with love.
Thank you.
Which is rare.
Thank you. And that's one of the things that I actually miss being here every day, is talking to everyone over the
100%.
counter. Though we are cultivating this, we take the same values and bring them here on this side of the business, but they're no longer, you know, CISO over the counter.
Yeah.
It's,
hey Don, put a little extra in the bag, yeah?
Exactly. Now it's, you know, Bob buying for Market Basket.
Exactly.
Or, you know, the Fresh Market.
Now you're doing production.
Now we're doing production.
You know,
it's pallets of product.
100%.
Which is, you know, we want to get to.
Listen, it might be, you know, the next step up, but you guys are here and you are doing it.
Yes.
So let's get into that now. You know, now the tables have turned between you and your father. You know, he was teaching you, now you're the teacher. You and your brother are expanding the business, making this product facility, you know, cranking out, 10,000 pounds?
So right now,
talk to me about that.
Today we did about 8,500 pounds of soppressata. So this is our larger diameter, our hanging. So this is about 3.5 feet to 4 feet in length when it's hanging.
That's crazy.
But at max capacity, we could do 55,000 pounds a week here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
No.
Oh my God.
My brother and I are very good complements to each other.
Beautiful.
He is the operations and production side and the science behind it, because this is very scientific, especially with all the reports and testing.
I did not know that, yeah.
For the USDA, because we are a USDA inspected facility. I do the sales and marketing. I'm always grow, and he's always telling me to pump the brakes.
He's reeling you a little bit in,
Yeah.
Which is a great compliment, because then you're meeting in the middle. Growth,
Exactly.
but also at a efficient and respectable way where you're not fumbling the bag.
I want to constantly expand our product offerings, right? But my brother is a perfectionist.
Okay.
So that's what's helping us get ahead in our industry, is that we don't release anything until it is perfect.
Beautiful.
So you see we have like our retail chubs here, which are 6-ounce chubs.
Yeah, talk to me about these.
And so that's our Nostrano. That is our sweet salame. That's, you could grab like on a basket over the counter at a supermarket or a specialty store. And then we have our large diameter. This is the same product, larger diameter. This is our finocchione, whole fennel seed. So now this is something that would be like over a deli counter slicing or in the pre-sliced packages.
Yep.
So we'll be launching those in September.
Okay. Beautiful.
And that's what we produced today. So we produced.
It is so fresh. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous.
So that is what we have in production.
Okay.
But this came out about 2 weeks ago.
Really?
So the production time on this product is 46 days.
Wow.
So we ferment it and then we dry age it.
It really is a science project.
It is.
Every day.
It is.
Times 100.
So we will have a flavor profile that no one in the world can replicate.
Wow.
Because of the microbiome that my brother has cultivated in our dry rooms.
And he was educated by a chef from Italy, correct?
Yeah. So my brother worked with a master sommelier in Italy, who at one point his family owned the largest salumi company out of Italy.
That's crazy.
In Salumi, so that I
Clarify, because I was not educated in
exactly. So technically, this is salame.
this. Yes.
Salumi is the overarching category of cured meat.
Yes.
So salumi could be bresaola, it could be prosciutto, it could be salami.
I just thought I was saying it wrong all this time, but I wasn't at all.
No, so we want to maintain our heritage, like our Italian heritage, using the correct terminology
100%.
and not call everything salami.
And that's the brand that you really have kept from ANS, from back in the day to even this production. And that's not easy to do, to be honest, by all means. But listen, we're doing some tasting, we're talking about the good stuff, you're scaling. Now let's talk about the headaches.
The headaches, which are never ending.
Never ending.
Never ending.
How'd you get to this point? What would you say was the hardest thing you had to learn? Let alone, I'm just thinking now, was it the legal side? Was it the engineering? Was it, listen, you knew the science behind it. Your brother was well taught by a master chef, but what was your difficulty leaving that, VC capital firm and jumping into the entrepreneurial production, manufacturing, realm?
So,
see, you're like, oh my God.
You want to talk about the foundation? This foundation was a pain in the ass.
Spoken by a real Italian, baby. Let's go.
So we worked with the USDA to design our floor plan.
Okay.
After the floor plan, we had to work with actual engineers, be the architects on every single aspect of this building besides the flow. We were working with the design build company for 6 months. And we were 3 weeks away from starting production, and they presented us a budget that was astronomical.
Yeah.
I fired them on the spot. I did not even think about it. I had an idea in my head of what it would cost to build this place, and they were over double that cost.
You weren't budging though.
No. We self-funded everything here. I didn't want to put us in a bad position, and I knew that they were taking advantage of us being first timers. Like
100%.
I could feel it.
100%.
So I said, I appreciate your time. This is going to be hard for you, but harder for me because now I have to start from scratch, but you guys are fired. I called another engineering company that did not do the build, they only did the design, that I had previous meetings with, and I said, it was July 17th that I fired them.
Okay. You were
told them.
devastated, I bet,
Oh,
because
I
you were
was-
probably excited. Let's get this thing rolling.
And the faster that you get into production, the quicker you get into make money, right?
100%.
So we think. So it was July 17th. I called Weber Smith, who they've designed the Hood ice cream plants, Hood Milk,
Okay, well.
Uncrustables.
Yeah.
They did the Uncrustables peanut
Best.
butter and jelly
Come on
facility.
now.
Yeah. So I called Weber Smith. I explained the scenario. I said it's July 17th. I want a proposal on my desk by July 19th. I want finished drawings stamped for approval by October 17th.
Beautiful.
So they had 3 months to do what the previous company did in 6.
Wow. You
I
meant
was
business.
not messing around because we could not afford to put the project on hold.
Of course. It was costing you money by the day, I bet.
Exactly. And gave them a blank slate. They had the flow from the flow plan from the USDA. On a couple days later, October 21st, I had drawings in front of me that we submitted to the town of Milford for stamped approval. And the second week of December, we started ripping out this slab.
Wow.
So I was here every day during construction. We were keeping this under wraps. The reason being is there's a lot of companies that were producing in Italy and exporting their product to the United States that in the past 2 years have been actually moving their production here to the United States.
Okay.
So we didn't want to kind of
You were going under the radar.
stir the pond
Yep.
and get ripples going because we wanted to just pop out of nowhere.
Focus on yourself. Do it the right way, the best way.
And honestly, one of the biggest keys, the key takeaways that I've had is there's a reason why racehorses have blinders on.
I like this.
And if you're worried about what everyone else is doing around you, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to misstep, and you're going to base your actions off of being reactive to what everyone else is doing.
Love that.
Instead of doing what you think is right and based on your interpretation of the marketplace.
You were in literally the clear definition of tunnel vision for this.
Yeah.
You saw the end goal. You know, one of my favorite sayings is, keep your head down, make the right moves until you're ready to say checkmate.
Exactly. And listen, we did our due diligence. We know what the marketplace looks like. We knew what it looked like back then.
You ran your comps, you did your homework.
We did
Trust
our
me,
homework.
I know.
We had 2 years of doing homework. While this place was under construction, we couldn't produce. We were developing a marketing strategy. We were understanding our competition. And we were starting to cultivate relationships for distribution and for retail. And
You were working on the clock with no facility yet. You were
Exactly.
You were doing all the background noise
while managing A&S and putting in our systems to make sure that the place ran and is running squeaky clean when my brother and I stepped away from everyday operations.
What was the hardest thing throughout this process for you to learn?
The
I would
hardest
say.
thing to learn is patience.
Okay.
The hardest thing is patience. We're used to retail, right? You open up the doors.
And we know Italians don't really have too much patience.
No.
I'm gonna get fired for that one, but it's true.
The patience is the hardest part. We are used to opening up a door every day at 9 a.m. and customers flooding in. And even from the day we opened up our doors in Fairfield, 1992, people were curious. The business wasn't crazy at the beginning. People were curious and they were walking in.
What was going on in here?
Exactly. This is a completely different ballgame. We're going up against hundreds of $1 million competition. We have a competitor that does $900 million a year in business. We have competitors that do billions of dollars a year in business. We have competitors that do $50 million a year in business.
Listen, you were a local deli, Italian kitchen, in a great town, great community, near colleges. You were ready to, jump in with the sharks.
Yes, and they are sharks, 100%. And we wanted to have the element of surprise and be able to surprise them with a product that we could 100% have confidence in. We didn't start sales, so to give you an idea, we started construction in December or November for that matter, of 2023.
Okay.
And we finished construction in October 24, so almost a year, 11 months. We ran our first production on October 14th of 2024. I did not have my first day of sales until January 18th of 2025 because
this year, wow.
the product takes so long to be
to create, to
be created.
age, everything.
Yeah. So the smaller chubs, the smaller diameter takes 28 days minimum.
Wow.
And the larger diameter takes 46 days. We didn't have our first sale until March 3rd.
Of this year.
So
2 years later after this place was built.
Correct. So January 18th of this year, I went out on the road, started to develop sales physically, giving out samples. And we didn't have our first sale to a distributor because we don't sell direct, we sell to distributors that we work backwards.
Which is a tough but smart model.
Yes. So we will go to retailers, show them the product, understand who their preferred distributor is, and then go sell that sale to a distributor and have them regularly stock our product.
How did it feel when you sold your first sale?
Honestly, I felt more hungry.
That's when the fire really started.
That really started, and I was actually nervous. I was nervous because once you get that first sale, you don't know when that next sale is coming.
Exactly.
And you need it to come as soon as possible, and you want the next one to be bigger and bigger and bigger
quicker and bigger. You got to start growing. That's now.
Exactly.
Now we're trying to go up.
Exactly.
Because you have that starting point, and you only want to go up from there.
Exactly.
What was your mentality with? So now you're trying to generate your book of business. You know, you're doing the outreaches. Was there times where you were like, I'm over my head. I put my hands up. I want to quit.
Yes. I would never say I was going to quit, but there were instances
where you were like, this.
What the fuck did we just do?
I just want to go back to A&S, open up 9 a.m.
Yep.
Go out through the day, make people happy, and go home.
You want to live comfortable, right? Stay with that. And we were comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had great business, great employees, very strong foundation. If we opened up another A&S, it would be
great, of course.
It would do great right away. We still have to this day. I got an email yesterday about if we wanted to go into a spot in a town, and I'd said no for now because
we'll see what the future holds.
Exactly, because we're building here, and I sit there and I think if I open up another retail store, I wouldn't be sweating the way I am right now. My brother and I have not taken any money out of here. We are paying down debts, and we haven't taken distribution from A&S in 2.5 years.
Wow.
So talking about paying bills, and that's it. You
gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. So they gotta have a beautiful, loving, and supporting fiance.
She's great.
She's great, and otherwise it'd be in a very different position.
Yeah.
But
she's holding your wallet pretty close, I bet.
Yeah. We here at Sumificio GB are poisoning ourselves for great success while under an immense amount of pressure and uncertainty.
That's the type of person you are, though. I've known you 10 plus years, and you've always, pushed the needle. You were a hockey player.
Yeah.
You knew the competitiveness you were getting yourself into, and
Definitely.
You were just ready for the next step as well.
And to that point, I was always number 2 or number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was never the standout athlete, but I always had the hardest work ethic.
Yeah.
At Fairfield Prep, right? My freshman year, I didn't make varsity.
Yeah.
I was on JV. I worked my ass off to then get recruited to play in junior hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing in the EHL as an underager, which 99% of the kids on that Fairfield Prep team never even made it to junior hockey.
Yeah.
And that was my sophomore year at Prep. And then from playing junior hockey, I got recruited to play New England Prep School hockey, which next to Tier 1 juniors, which you have to get drafted for, that is the most competitive and highest level of hockey before you played Division I college.
You had the tendency to throw yourself, as we said, in with the Sharks, and you'll fight your way through.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the Italian fire in you, man. Trust me. So listen, you had those times where you were like, what the hell did I get myself into? But you were ready to dig your way through cement to come up on top. What moment where you were like, you stood maybe in here? Give me a time where you felt like, you know, I'm proud of what I just did. I'm on the way to success.
So, you know, technically we're in month 8. So
you're still brand new. We're still spanking new.
Brand spanking new. Our launching point, or that point where I was like, we got this.
Was it when you had your first piece of salami?
That was, let's call that like 1A.
Okay, there we go.
1B, that really was the pinnacle, where we go vice versa, was Fancy Food Show. It's the largest food show in North America.
Wow.
It's held at the Javits Center. And it took me 5 months to convince my brother to do the food show. It's like, I don't want to do it unless it's perfect. I don't want to do it unless we're positioned well. I called the president of Fancy Food, who actually lives in Easton. And he came and toured our facility with a really good friend of ours, Carl Zuanelli, who's been instrumental in building this business. If it wasn't for Carl, we would have made so many mistakes.
Shout out Carl.
Carl owns Nuovo Pasta.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
Huge company.
Yeah.
They started literally a commercial kitchen, like a shared kitchen, and now they have 6 facilities that are each over 100,000 square feet.
Wow.
They are a huge business. When we were at Fancy Food, we were across from Principe. Our booth was a corner booth, which was, we got lucky. When you say, like, things happen for a reason, right?
100%.
Sunday morning at 9 a.m. when the show opened, our booth was packed the entire time.
Wow.
People, we never heard about your product. Oh my God, this is incredible. It's clean label. There's no nitrate or nitrite in it.
Which is a huge thing right now.
Huge.
And that's why I have this at my house all the time, because of the clean labels. You know, the whole thing I think is a movement too. The seed oils, the artificial dyes and other foods and all that. People want clean food. You know, we're in that generation where we don't want that processed shit that we grew up on anymore. And you guys do it perfectly.
Thank you. And you know, we went a step above too. Like, we're not using commodity pork. We use whole Duroc pork shoulder, and Duroc traditionally is the breed of pig used for prosciutto di Parma.
Okay.
So this is the highest quality of pork one could get on the market. After the Fancy Food, when I
That was the day
I started doing my reach out to all the people that attended our booth. We batted over 40% on responses.
Wow.
Which typically at Fancy Food, people say you get like 3 or 4 responses out of 150 people.
Yeah, of course. At events like that, listen, people just want the free samples and get out.
Exactly.
But you caught their attention.
And we caught their attention. We have 3 or 4 opportunities that will change this company. That was my damn moment. But when I said before how like I was nervous after our first sale, I'm really fucking nervous now, because you don't want to let these opportunities get away.
100%.
And in the food industry, nothing is certain until the product is in that door.
Listen, I've been part of the real estate business, hospitality groups, families in the restaurant business, construction business. The restaurant business is no joke. People don't know how hard it is. It is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
Listen, Gordon Ramsay is why Gordon Ramsay's how he is, because you're dealing with BS every day. You're dealing with trying to get specific, deals, contracts, partnerships, distributions. It's a real hustle mentality.
Yeah, and like the food industry, it is pretty much mafia. It is crazy.
Coming from an Italian, of course.
There's, getting into certain retailers, they only want to work with certain distributors.
100%.
And they know that they have the cards, because without them, you don't have a business.
You can't.
So people talk about slotting fees. They talk about marketing programs. It's all true.
Yeah.
It's all true. And the thing is that, you got to pay to play.
100%. That's very well said.
And with the reason why, going back to the whole, element of surprise why we wanted to keep this so under wraps, is because if my product's going on the shelf, one of my competitors' products is coming off the shelf.
Yeah.
They have deeper pockets and larger marketing budgets than I have.
Mentality, yeah.
And I didn't want them to be able to structure to put themselves in a position
100%
where
to pivot when you were ready to pounce out onto the market.
Exactly.
For them to try to suppress you, and that goes to show the amount of planning you were doing and strategizing while this place was being built. There was never a time where like, all right, let me wait until it's built and then we'll start working. You were running the game plan and making it happen.
Exactly. So the game plan from day one was build an impeccable facility that is built for scale. That was the biggest part, because a lot of our competitors, when they start off, they get bottlenecked.
Yes.
And then it takes them 2 years, because building out this facility took 11 months of hard construction, and then soft design, the soft construction, which is the design engineer.
Yep.
That took 1.5 years, 2 years itself. You don't want to get to a point where you're bottlenecked and then you have to wait 2 years to expand.
Then you're just slowing yourself down.
Now you're grabbing back that momentum that was there.
Yep.
So we wanted to, 1, make a great product.
Which you have.
2, build a facility that allows us to grow in. And 3, hit the market as a medium-sized, well-respected company.
Beautiful.
A lot of people like the small artisanal producers, which in essence we are.
Definitely.
Right? It's me and my brother.
You got the brothers out back doing some salami. Well, what more do you want from that, man?
It's a family business. It's not automated. We still are very hands-on. My brother is feeling and smelling the salamis as we walk around the rooms. We hit our USDA check boxes, but then my brother has his own techniques and requirements that he makes sure the product hits before he releases it.
Amazing.
So with those 3 things, we started planning years in advance. And then once I hit the market, it really started to show. Now, my everyday is I'm on the road selling to customers, visiting accounts. I'm on the phone with accounts out of state. I'm on a plane going to visit potential accounts. Maintaining relationships, which is the biggest part, is maintaining the relationships with the existing retailers that we're in, because they're our foundation. They're helping us stay afloat right now.
Definitely. And
then the distributors that are out there, their sales reps can sink our ship tomorrow.
As you said, man, some people got a bigger ship right now.
Exactly.
And you're trying to go against them right now. I mean, you're playing battleship.
Exactly. So if you have those sales force on the street that have empathy for you, they like you as a person, they believe in the product, they like the product, whether they work for you directly or work for one of your distributors, they are the most important piece of the puzzle.
100%.
I make sure religiously I call at least 3 sales reps a day. I don't even talk about my product. See how their day's going, what their challenges are. I touch base. I create a personal relationship with them, because if someone likes you, they're going to go to bat for you, and that's the biggest part.
And at this point, you're not even selling your product yet. You're selling yourself.
Exactly.
And that's really the first step of becoming an entrepreneur, is you are providing an investment in yourself and being able to, make sure someone entrusts their finances or their services with you. And
exactly.
That's something you gotta have a real, heart for, to do and wake up every day.
Exactly. One of the things that I actually took away from Keith McNally's book,
great book.
I regret almost everything. Keith McNally, owner of Balthazar, the Odeum institutions in New York City. One of the things that he regrets most is not being direct. And being direct in business
is a must.
You can't please everyone. You can't adjust your structure, your prices, the way that you do business to appease everyone's requests.
Back to what you said, you can't have those, you got to have those blinders on like exactly. A horse does. You have your goal, you have your track that you're running, you're going to stay in that lane and do it.
Exactly. You know your worth. And, sometimes saying no is incredibly important when, if there's a contract in front of you that is a very, very healthy contract, like $100,000 contract, $150,000 contract, but putting your product on the shelf in that store may tarnish brand perspective, your brand recognition, you have to say no.
You said it best yourself. You were ready to get this place built. You had the engineers sitting in front of you, sign here, let's get your production going. You have to be sick in the head to look at them and be like, no, I know what this place is gonna take. I'm gonna find someone that, is fit for me to make it built.
I came in 40% underneath that number, by the way.
You said no, and you became successful because of that no.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I've seen meeting, entrepreneurs throughout, the Northeast is you can say no and succeed because sometimes when you say yes for the wrong, reason, it can hurt you. And it's going to cause you more headaches.
Yeah, no, 100%. No is a very strong word when it's used correctly.
Well said. Listen, you've been probably dealt a lot of headaches throughout this process. You're up and going now. You still probably deal with headaches. It's the business that we're in. We're sick. We love it.
Yeah.
What do you do to decompress? As a owner, as a boss, what's something, you try to segment your way away from this business?
So there's not much downtime. I'm here working on this business Monday through Friday, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, not super early, till 7, 10.
Yeah, I had to catch you on your way out. I go, listen, keep the doors open a little bit.
8 o'clock at night. Saturdays, I'm usually at A&S. And Sundays, I try to take off, but that doesn't usually happen.
It's the family day, I know.
And so I'm there till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And what really decompresses me is just being home with my fiance and our dogs.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And being outside in the backyard, grilling and hanging out.
Put the phone away a little bit.
Put the phone away. Or we love the beach, so we'll go down to the beach. I could not do what I'm doing now without the support of my fiance.
That's beautiful.
And the reason being is because when I'm here, I know that whatever else needs to be taken care of, she's taking care of it.
She's your other half. She's the boss. Listen, exactly. I know the fiance, and she's the boss. Let's be honest, man. I can't say it. So going from A&S to this amazing facility, you've built something amazing, man. And knowing what you know now, what's kind of a piece of advice you give yourself from that very first day your brother gave you a call, or someone that wants to get started in the food industry and create something that's theirs?
Surround yourself with people that you can trust, and people that are selfless, and people that are willing to steer you in the direction that you want to go, with you leading that direction.
Well said.
I've mentioned Carl Zuanelli before from Nuovo Pasta. From day one when we had this idea, we were on the phone multiple times a week. He allowed my brother and I to be the architects of our company, but he made sure to step in and give critical
guidance
and direct guidance
when needed.
Without that guidance on the construction aspect and the connections needed in this industry, we would have made mistakes that would have put us out of business.
100%.
But along with that, when you find your core group of mentors, everyone else is white noise. Ignore them, keep your blinders on, lead your direction, take advice, and execute on it. That's all you have to do.
And that's how you succeed?
Yeah.
I love that. Beautiful. All right, let's close off with a quick fire round. It's a little fun.
Right.
Give me one word answers to these.
Yep.
Favorite Italian dish that isn't salami?
Veal parm.
Wine or espresso?
Espresso.
Most underrated cut of meat, in your opinion?
I love a good pork chop.
Finish this sentence for me. Gemma Salumi is what?
Luxury.
Beautiful. Listen, this all started back in Naples. Now you're in Milford. Truly passionate about your craft. You're a businessman. You're an entrepreneur, and I really commend on what you've built, because it is no joke, a monster out there. And honestly, for you to scale something to this level. You already had A&S thriving, and now to throw this into the fire is, you know, you're a real dog for it. And I honestly, I really do respect you for doing this, and I'm proud to see where this goes. So tell me, where can we find this?
So right now, Gemma Salumi is on the shelves of 78 retailers in the Northeast, and soon to be on the shelves of a couple premium national retailers.
Let's do it, baby.
Across the United States. Get ready for Gemma Salumi to be your go-to salumi brand whenever you're making an antipasto. I hate the word charcuterie.
Listen, whenever the wife and the girls are coming over, bring this over, a bottle of wine, and they'll be satisfied.
We're making an antipasto board, and if I could leave your viewers with one thing in an entrepreneurial journey, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Ooh,
because you're
I love that. That's it.
every day.
That's all I wanted to hear, my man.
100%.
Listen, thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Listen, check out Gemma Salumi and check out A&S, baby. That's where it all came from. That's all she wrote, baby.
That's all she wrote.
Thank you, bro.
No, 100%.
Love.
Yes.
Sir.